and its horizontal distribution over the Earth's surface. But this horizontal distribution of Earth's surface in the form of pressure belt is not uniform. Generally, atmospheric pressure varies from one part of the Earth to the another part of the Earth in terms of the global pattern of atmospheric pressure and its distribution. But it is also being affected by the local variations. It is not the uniform. We cannot say that within the same belt there will be the same atmospheric pressure because of the variations of the nature of land and water bodies, and mostly these variations of land and water bodies provides the concept of differential heating and cooling. And because of the differential heating and cooling of the land and water bodies, the temperature varies. In the same way, the atmospheric pressure also varies from the earth, where there are the land bodies or the land masses and the areas which are covered by the water. These local variations create a zonal pattern of the atmospheric pressure within the same atmospheric pressure belt. There are the seasonal variations also. In the winter season, in northern hemisphere or in the southern hemisphere, the atmospheric pressure is very much developed in compared to the season, in compared to the summer season. सवाल ये पूछता है कंपटीशन में कि in winter season the isobar is widely spaced or wide are generally visible or generally distributed in a uniform manner, and the land water bodies contrast are less recorded in winter season in northern hemisphere. Generally in northern hemisphere, the atmospheric pressure is very irregular. They are developed over the zone. Even the low pressure or the high pressures have the specified reason to develop. अगर मैं ये कहूं कि subpolar low pressure belt in northern hemisphere is developed in certain areas of Aleutian Island or the Icelandic low. That is true. But it is not much developed in a certain part. Same उसी तरीके से subtropical high pressure belt are more stronger in the western margin of the continent and over the oceanic areas of the Pacific and Atlantic in compared to the other areas. But these global distribution of the atmospheric pressure in the form of belt is a general average conditions that has to be studied in a systematic manner. But in southern hemisphere, most of the atmospheric pressure belt, especially the subpolar low pressure belt, is strongly developed because of the uniform water surfaces. There is less land and water bodies contrast in the southern hemisphere. But in terms of the of diagonal distribution of the अगर daily अगर देखा जाए, the atmospheric pressure is maximum at the time when there is the minimum temperature. There is the two maxima and the two minimum conditions of temperature. At 10 a.m. and there is the and 10 p.m. there is the maximum temperature. But at the 2 to 4 p.m. when the temperature is high, the pressure at that time will be low. At 5 a.m., the atmospheric pressure will be low. In terms of daily variations, the atmospheric pressure varies. Wherever there is the local variations, where there are the high and low created, nearby areas of the land and water bodies contrast. In insular locations or in coastal environment, in the night, there are the variations of atmospheric pressure. रात में कोस्टल एरियाज में लैंड पे आपका हाई प्रेशर जो है वो होता है. रात में लैंड पे एरियाज पे एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर विल बी मोर इन कंपेयर टू द ओशनिक एरियाज. इसी तरीके से ये आपका लैंड और वाटर बॉडीज पे प्रेशर का वेरिएशंस कोस्टल एरियाज में देखने को मिलता है. तो these daily variations in terms of time, in terms of land and water bodies contrast is also produced certain kind of the phenomena in meteorology. Local wind is generated because of the local variations of the atmospheric pressure. Even in mountain and valley breezes, माउंटेन और वैली ब्रीजेस में भी डेली वेरिएशंस आपको डे और नाइट की वजह से देखने में मिलता है. ठीक उसी तरीके से देयर आर द इवन द होल प्रेशर बेल्ट दैट इज फॉर्म्ड ओवर द ग्लोब is also being shifted because of the changing season. And you have to remember that in summer season, during the time of summer solstice, when the sun shines vertically overhead at Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degree north, the sun is vertical at the line Tropic of Cancer. And because of the vertical location of the sun at Tropic of Cancer, sun shines vertically overhead at that line, whole pressure belt except the pressure belt of the North Pole and the South Pole, that is the polar high pressure belt. उसके अलावा और जितने pressure belt है, इस सारे के सारे नॉर्थवर्ड साइड में शिफ्ट हो जाते हैं. Equatorial low pressure belt that is created over the 5 degree north and 5 degree south near the equator shifted towards the 20 to 25 degree north latitude. In the same way, subtropical high pressure belt that is there at 20 to 25 degree north latitude or 25 to 30 degree north latitude, it also shifted towards further north where it is located near to the 40 to 50 degree north latitude. Subpolar low pressure belt is also shifted towards the slightly north in terms of the 70 degree north latitude. In the same way, the pressure belt of the southern hemisphere also shifted towards the north. जो आपका सब ट्रॉपिकल हाई प्रेशर बेल्ट है सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर का, जिसका लोकेशन 25 to 35, 25 to 30 डिग्री साउथ लैटिट्यूड पे है, it also shifted towards the little north near 15 degree or 20 degree south latitude. सबट्रॉपिकल हाई प्रेशर बेल्ट जो सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर का है, ये भी थोड़ा नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर की ओर नॉर्थ डायरेक्शन में शिफ्ट हो जाता है. एक्सेप्ट पोलर हाई प्रेशर ऑफ द नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर एंड सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर, all the pressure belts like equatorial low pressure belt, subtropical high pressure belt and subpolar low pressure belt, it shifted towards the northern side during the time of the northern solstice, and that is known as the shifting of pressure belt because of the shifting of the sun overhead at the location of Tropic of Cancer. In the same way, during the time of winter solstice, when winter solstice means when the sun shines vertically overhead near to the Tropic of Capricorn at 23.5 degrees south latitude, whole the vertical radiation is received, the vertical solar energy is received near to the Tropic of Capricorn. And this is the reason where the maximum temperature is recorded and major part of the southern hemisphere are under the sun, and that causes for the increase of the length of the day of the southern hemisphere. And this is the reason then whole the pressure belt during the time of winter solstice shifted towards the southern hemisphere. Equatorial low pressure belt that is located at 5 degree north and the 5 degrees south latitude shifted towards the 20 to 25 degree south latitude or 15 degree south latitudes. In the same way, subtropical high pressure belt also shifted towards the southern side towards the southern pole region, and it is located near to the 30 to 40 degree south latitude. During the winter time, winter solstice, it was the summer at the southern hemisphere, and whole pressure belt consequently shifted because of the shifting of the solar radiations and the vertical sun. Whole pressure belt shifted towards the south. And this phenomena is commonly recorded in the whole part of the year. But in the equinox time, in the spring and the vernal equinox that occurred at the 21st March and 23rd September, these 2 days of the year characterized with the vertical solar radiation at the equatorial part of the earth. At equator, we see the equal length of the day and night during the time of the equinox, and the whole global pressure belt are at their own location, that is defined in terms of equatorial low pressure belt, subtropical high pressure belt, subpolar low pressure belt, and polar high pressure belt. It was very interesting phenomena of the shifting of pressure belt. But because of this shifting of the pressure belt, certain meteorological events have been occurred. सवाल ये पूछता है कि the Mediterranean climate is the product of the process of shifting of pressure belt or zonal pattern of the wind, atmospheric circulation and oceanic current. अगर ये सवाल दे दिया तो आपको निशान लगाना है शिफ्टिंग ऑफ प्रेशर बेल्ट. इस शिफ्टिंग ऑफ प्रेशर बेल्ट से क्या क्या चीजें हो सकती है ये आपको मैं बताने जा रहा हूं. सबसे पहले वर्ल्ड में जो क्लाइमेटिक डिवीजन है उसमें एक मेडिटेरेनियन टाइप ऑफ क्लाइमेट एक इंपॉर्टेंट टाइप ऑफ क्लाइमेट. And this Mediterranean type of climate is the product of the shifting of pressure belt. Because of the shifting of the pressure belt during the summer season, whole pressure belt moves towards the south directions. And the areas of the Mediterranean Sea comes under the influences of the south subtropical high pressure belt that is shifted towards the further south, and this region received the dry wind, and that is not moisture laden. That's why in the Mediterranean climate summer is dry and there is no rainfall during the summer season because of the dry conditions. The wind which is coming in the form of the westerlies during the time of the summer season, subtropical high pressure belts से जो सब पोलर लो प्रेशर बेल्ट की ओर जाती है हवाएं, जिसको हम वेस्टर्लीज कहते हैं, उसका फ्लो जो है और सदर्न साइड में हो जाता है और वो एरिया आपका विंटर समर सीजन में वो एरिया और जो है नॉर्दर्न साइड में जब प्रेशर बेल्ट शिफ्ट कर जाता है तो वो सारे एरियाज जो है विंड के इन्फ्लुएंस में, मॉइस्चर लेडन विंड के इन्फ्लुएंस में नहीं आ पाते. लेकिन ड्यूरिंग द विंटर सीजन when the whole pressure belt shifted towards the south direction because of the vertical solar radiation at Tropic of Capricorn, this area comes under the domain of the westerlies wind, as well as it recorded more rainfall in the winter season. It grasped the moisture from the Mediterranean Sea and caused for the heavy rainfall during the winter season. So winter rainfall is recorded. Yes, Atik? Sorry? Okay, okay. Yeah, sure, sure. I will uh, make a diagram, then you can understand better. That is asked generally. Okay, let us see that how Mediterranean climate is generally produced. Mediterranean region, suppose this is the polar high pressure belt of the northern hemisphere, and from wind that is coming in towards the east directions at the subpolar low pressure belt, subpolar low pressure belt record the convergence of the wind. One is coming from the eastern side of the polar region, that is called as polar easterlies wind, and another one is coming from the subtropical high pressure belt. In the form of the westerlies. Whether it is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Another wind that is coming from the subtropical high pressure belt, that is called as northeast trade wind. It is not northeast trade wind. It is, this wind is called as westerlies. I will take a very detailed class of the wind and air circulations. That is the subpolar low pressure belt. It is the polar easterlies. And this region is the equator. It also recorded the convergence of that is the southeast trade wind. साउथ ट्रेड विंड से ये निकलती है आपकी सब ट्रॉपिकल हाई प्रेशर बेल्ट सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर का. दिस इज लोकेटेड एट 25 degrees south, 30 degrees south or 25 degrees south. It is located at 5 degrees south and 5 degrees north. It is located at 25 degrees north to 30 degrees south to 30 degrees north. This is located at 60 to 65 degrees north. 65 degrees north. And it is at equator 90 degree north. Suppose summer season में ये जो इक्वेटोरियल लो प्रेशर बेल्ट है इसका लोकेशन शिफ्ट होके यहाँ पे आ नियर टू 20 to 25 degree north. That is equator. ये लोकेशन आपका 20 डिग्री टू 25 डिग्री नॉर्थ पे है. ये जो लोकेशन था सब ट्रॉपिकल हाई प्रेशर बेल्ट का ये चले गए आपको 40 डिग्री पे. नॉर्थ ईस्ट ट्रेड विंड का जोन भी शिफ्ट हो जाएगा. The equatorial low pressure belt shifted towards the further north at the latitude of 20 degree north to 25 degree north. In the same way, the subtropical high pressure belt that is located at 25 to 30 degree north, the further reached at the 30 to 40 degree north. Subpolar low pressure belt that is located at 60 to 65 degree north further reached towards the north direction and it is located near to the 70 to 80 degree north. Subpolar low. So we can see that the whole wind pattern that is located between these pressure belts from high to low also being affected, and the Mediterranean region that is located near to the 30 to 40 degree latitude, that is the mid latitude, characterized in the summer season, and its area shifted towards the further north near to the 40 to 50 degree north latitudes. The subpolar zone है वो आपके और ऊपर चला गया. मेडिटेरेनियन क्लाइमेट जिसका लोकेशन मेडिटेरेनियन सी पे है, हमेशा ज़हन में ये याद रखिए कि नॉर्थ अफ्रीका के ऊपर मेडिटेरेनियन सी के आसपास के एरियाज में जनरली मेडिटेरेनियन क्लाइमेट देखने में आता है. हालांकि अलग अलग कॉन्टिनेंट में भी, जैसे चिली में जो साउथ चिली सेंट्रल पार्ट ऑफ चिली है वो, कैलिफोर्निया, विक्टोरिया province of the Melbourne, like the Victoria province of the Australia, Santiago, Durban, ये रीजन आपके मेडिटेरेनियन पार्ट ऑफ द क्लाइमेट में आते हैं. जहां पे भी विंटर रेनफॉल होता है वहां पे इस तरह के क्लाइमेट देखने में आते हैं. लेकिन मैं इसको कल और डिटेल में पढ़ाऊंगा व्हाइट बोर्ड की मदद से कि कैसे जो है मेडिटेरेनियन क्लाइमेट और साथ ही साथ इंडियन मानसून, ये दो इन्फ्लुएंसेस ऐसे हैं जो आपके शिफ्टिंग ऑफ प्रेशर बेल्ट से भी रिलेटेड है. जनरली लोग इंडियन मानसून को शिफ्टिंग ऑफ प्रेशर बेल्ट से एसोसिएट करके नहीं देखते हैं, इसलिए थोड़ी सी दिक्कतें आ जाती हैं आपके इंडियन आपके एक्सप्लेनेशन में कि बच्चों को थोड़ा क्लियर नहीं हो पाता कि व्हाई द इंडियन मानसून हैज बीन इमर्ज्ड and what are the various factors that causes for the formation of the monsoon and the periodic wind circulation at the at latitude at this latitude of the Indian peninsula and the subcontinent of India. So we will discuss in the detail tomorrow about the concept of the shifting of pressure belt in the more detail, because it is has the larger impact over the climate because of the shifting of pressure belt. Various meteorological phenomena has been occurred, and after the shifting of pressure belt we will also focus upon the air of in motion, not the atmospheric circulation. मैं पहले पढ़ाऊंगा कि एयर इन मोशन, दो तरह के मोशन जो है एयर के वो बताऊंगा, उसके बाद एयर सर्कुलेशन सही से समझ में आएगा, विंड भी सही से समझ में आएगा। अभी विंड जो है because of the not clarity over the wind, this shifting of that monsoon and as well as the Mediterranean climate cannot be cannot understand in a very detailed manner. So let us discuss tomorrow. Any confusion of today's class? It was very general class today, not a specific or the focused class. It was only a general discussion of the how pressure belt shifted. बस आपको ये याद रखना है कि प्रेशर बेल्ट का जो फॉर्मेशन ग्लोब पे है वो कांस्टेंट नहीं है। प्रेशर बेल्ट के अंदर भी वेरिएशन है, जोनल वेरिएशंस और डेली वेरिएशंस भी होता है एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर में। टाइम के साथ भी मॉर्निंग और इवनिंग या डे और नाइट के वेरिएशंस है। उसके अलावा प्रेशर बेल्ट लैंड और वाटर बॉडीज के कंट्रास्ट से भी आपका वेरिएशंस है, और प्रेशर बेल्ट के अंदर सीजनल वेरिएशंस भी देखने में आता है, और प्रेशर बेल्ट पूरे के पूरे बेल्ट ही शिफ्ट कर जाते हैं अगर सूरज की रोशनी सीधे पड़ती है ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर पे तो ये नॉर्थ वर्ड साइड में शिफ्ट हो जाएगा। अगर सूरज की रोशनी सीधे पड़ती है आपके ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैप्रिकॉर्न पे, ये सदर्न साइड की ओर सारे के सारे प्रेशर बेल्ट शिफ्ट हो जाते हैं, और इनका लोकेशन एक्सेप्ट पोलर हाई प्रेशर बेल्ट, ऑल द प्रेशर बेल्ट चेंज with the changing season, and that causes for the certain meteorological events, especially the Mediterranean type of climate, especially the monsoon in the Indian subcontinent also being affected by the shifting of pressure belt. And tomorrow we will discuss more in detail about the shifting of pressure belt, location, as well as the diagram and its influences over the world's climate. Thank you so much. Hello, Akram?
Yes, sir.
Atik? Hello?
Yes, sir.
मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
ओके, तो आज इतना ही फिनिश करते हैं। जी जी, थैंक्स अ लॉट।